Hello everyone. I'm feeling inspired to do a video for the Divine Masculine. I'm not really sure if it's for several different people, but I think it could be for the collective. But it's just coming through that I need to do this video. So I'm going to do it for whoever it's meant for. And please feel free to use it and tap along. So this is doing EFT on a particular issue that a Divine Masculine may face if he would have to leave his spouse to be with his Divine Feminine. So this is the tapping, the emotional freedom technique. So you start here where your torso meets your neck. You go down 3 inches, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 3 inches, 1, 2, 3, and you kind of try to find a sore spot, around that particular point. So having found the sore spot, you rub the sore spot and you say, even though I would feel like a failure if I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I deeply and completely accept this part of me that would feel like a failure. Even though I would feel like a failure if I left my spouse to be with my twin flame, I deeply and completely love and accept this part of myself that would feel like a failure. Even though I would feel like a failure if I left my marriage, if I left my spouse to be with my twin flame, I deeply and completely love and accept this part of myself that would feel like a failure if this happened. I would feel like a failure. So I'm muscle testing for the collective to see how high the feeling like a failure would be. So the intensity is 1 out of 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm doing this for the collective. It's a 7 out of 10. Let's bring it down to 0. So I would feel like a failure. I would feel like a failure. I would feel like a failure. Under the eye, I would feel like a failure. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. I would feel like I failed at my marriage. So I'm tapping 3 inches under the armpit. I would feel like I failed at my marriage. I would feel like a failure with my spouse. I would feel like a failure in my marriage. I would feel like a failure in my marriage. I would feel like a failure in my marriage. I would feel like a failure in my marriage. I would feel like a failure in my marriage. Feeling a lot of clearing happening, so let's see how much it's come down to. The intensity is now 3, 4. It's a 3 out of 10. So let's bring it down to 0. I would feel like a failure if I left my spouse And you know, this is not just for divine masculine. If there are divine feminines who would have to leave their spouse in order to be with their twin flame, you can tap along as well. It works both ways. I would feel like a failure. I would feel like a failure. All those years of marriage, all those years spent developing a relationship, a marriage, a foundation, children, a connection, a deep connection. Relatives, in-laws, friends that know us both, friends that know us as a family, breaking that whole foundation. It's so scary. I would feel like a failure. I would feel like a failure. At a very important project in my life, my marriage. I would feel like I failed at the vows that I took at the time of my marriage. My wedding vows, I would feel like a failure at my wedding vows. I would feel like I ratted out. I would feel like I wasn't trustworthy to my family, to my spouse, to my children. Maybe they wouldn't trust me anymore. Maybe I wouldn't trust me anymore. What is my word worth if I can go back on it? If I make vows that say till death do us part, and I don't keep them, what is my word worth? I would feel like a failure. 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 I don't know if I would be able to trust my own word again. I don't know if I would be able to trust myself again. I would lose my own trust. I would lose my own trust. I would lose my own trust. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it. For someone I don't even know. For someone I don't even know. For someone that feels familiar but I don't even know, who's a stranger. Essentially a stranger. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? I'm just channeling whatever's coming through as the collective. At this point, I feel I'm channeling the Divine Masculine collective. Why would I want to do that? I would feel like a failure. I wouldn't be able to trust myself anymore. I would feel like a failure. Plus, the transition would be very difficult. I don't know who would trust me anymore. I don't know who would trust me anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I 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 don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm not sure. 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 Just hold on a second. I'm going to pull out a laser that I use for clearing allergy antidotes. This laser has the frequency of love. Sometimes when I find that the tapping is getting hard, I will just use the laser. And I find that that helps. Just give me a second. It just helps to use the laser instead of tapping. You can buy this laser from Sandy Radomski at allergyantidotes.com. I use it for my patients for clearing allergies. So I'm just going to use the laser on the acupressure points that we use for EFT. So as I was tapping, it actually started to feel much heavier. So I'm going to use it on both sides of the collarbone, kidney meridian. It's even more powerful than tapping sometimes, just using the laser. It has a little red beam you can see, and this beam has the frequency of love, basically, and it brings everything into balance. I don't know the frequency. I think I know the wavelength. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember exactly. Well, it was 10.5 something. There we go. There was a release. Okay. And you can do it at the third eye as well. I have a protocol in my Kalos work, in my pivot manual, for those of you who have my manual. And I've called this protocol the depth protocol. And I use all 14 points. I don't use just the the ones we use for EFT. I use all 14 meridian. So you can feel the releases are stronger. This is called the Etox Plus Laser. The website you can buy it at is allergyantidotes.com. Sandy has a cheaper one also. It's like only $50. This is much more. I don't remember exactly. Okay. So as I was tapping, I felt that the intensity actually went up higher. It was at a 3. It went up higher. It must have gone up to like 7 or 8. And let's see now what happens after we finish with the laser. I would feel like a failure. The armpit, 3 inches under the armpit. I would feel like a failure. Okay, so let's test it now and see. The intensity of feeling like a failure is 1 out of 10. So it's 1 out of 10. It's great. It's come down to 1. So let's just keep it up, bring it down to a 0. So you can see the red beam. I would feel like a failure. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. Third eye. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. Wow. Eyebrow. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. I don't know how many people were clearing with this, but it feels like a lot. It's like a huge collective. Side of the eye. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a huge failure. Under the eye. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a huge failure. But on the other hand, okay, let's finish this round and we'll come to the opposite. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. Wow. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. Collarbone. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. The arm. If I left my marriage to be with my twin flame, I would feel like a failure. Okay, and now what's left is, it's a 0, it's a half, it's a quarter, no, it's a 0. So I would feel like a failure is a 0. So we can now bring in the positive. There are many positives to being with my twin flame. I choose to focus on the positives. I choose to focus on how it will help the planet if my twin flame and I are together. I choose to focus, third eye. I choose to focus on how it would help the planet if my twin flame and I are together. Eyebrow. So you're doing right at the beginning of the eyebrow. I choose to focus on how it would help the planet if my twin flame and I were together doing our mission on this planet. I can envision us doing our mission together. I see us doing our mission together. I see how much it benefits the world. Under the nose, I see how much it benefits the world. I see how much it benefits the world. We have a strong mission together. We planned this mission before we were born. I choose to remember my mission. I choose to remember why we incarnated together. There must have been a reason why we came to Earth together at the same time. I choose to remember that reason. I choose to remember the deeper meaning behind our connection. I choose to remember what it's all about. I choose to remember what it's all about. Side of the eye, I choose to remember what it's all about. Under the eye, I choose to remember what it's all about. Wow, I'm feeling a lot of releases as I'm doing this. I choose to remember what it's all about. I choose to remember why we incarnated together. I choose to remember what our purpose and our mission was. I choose to remember our purpose and our mission, our joint mission on the planet. And the last one, I choose to remember our joint mission on the planet. So the video is getting kind of long. I'm going to end it now, but if you want to tap some more, or if you want to use your laser or whatever, just rewind the video and do it some more until you come to a conscious remembering of what the mission is, you know, so that you're aware of why you're doing it. Once you understand the why, then the how and everything else will fall into place. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it has helped many. I really felt like there was such a depth to what I was channeling, and I'm sure it's going to reach many, many, many divine masculine twin flames. And as I said, it can also be used by the divine feminines. So go ahead and tap. If you have a laser, whether you have the Detox Plus laser or you have the other laser, Don't just use any laser. It has to be that specific frequency of love. You just can't pick up any old laser and do it. Okay, it won't work. Okay, so to buy the laser, check in with Sandy. www.allergyantidotes.com. Okay, I think you can find her on the Ask and Receive website. I think it's askandreceive.com as well. All right, so please, if this resonates with you, please do share, like, subscribe, and you can also use the video to tap surrogately for your twin flame. You know, so there are many uses of this particular video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. If you feel you would like to work with me, my email address is in the description box below. Write to me, we can set up a session. Okay, thank you.